Welcome back to Alchemy Factory and the One Plot Challenge here on One Last Turn. And welcome to part 2 of the Mars Relic build. If you didn't see part 1, then watch the previous episode. We're just gonna jump straight into it from here. And hopefully we'll get the build done today and we'll do other great stuff as well. Anyway, what I was saying is we need one space, but we could scaffold through here, through the corner scaffolding here and get it around. That wouldn't be impossible. That's the fuel. Actually, it's not. But the fuel is gonna be coming here. There we go. That will be the fuel, and then we'll have scaffolding and that. And then we'll do our beams. 1, 2, yeah, we can't have one more underneath. Don't have no portals, that's okay. So we'll have one out here. This actually fits pretty well. The only thing is, how do we get these to come together into a conveyor that goes? They would have to be on the same side. Interesting, interesting. Can we do something that stretches here? No. So maybe we need 3 crushers. We need 3 crushers per belt here. So we can get that amount by stacking this 3 times. And then oh right. I got so fixated on having them join vertically, no sorry, horizontally, that I didn't think about joining them vertically. Which makes it a lot easier, to be honest. Because then we can put them in the middle, like so. then we just have to get them to come together. So the bottom one has to go up. Let's start with the scaffolding, that's probably the easiest. Does that scaffolding, that matches perfectly with the input, so we just have to get both of them to go down to that level. How do we do that? How do we do that? Don't have the middle piece to play with. I don't know if it's possible. Let's say we take the bottom one up. That's all fine, but how do we get the top one down? This is getting a little bit too intricate for my liking. And we probably should have just not tried this at all, done something differently. But now, now we're already so far in that I feel like we should probably continue. And I can see I already blew past that date that I set. So I think what we're gonna do is we will just get this part here connected here in the end, and then we'll have to oh no, god damn it. So normally you have to go on both sides. Do we have any more room on the sides of this thing? We can move it out. Maybe that's the play. Instead of having it completely snug against these grinders. We move them both out once. That way we get this one to go up. But we still can't. Just to see what this does. Put a crusher on this new level here. Those will meet here. Is there a way? There has to be a way to do this. There has to be. The question is just how intricate will it be? I think the answer is quite annoyingly intricate because we can't send it back around. Like this. Have them meet like that. And then this just have to be... We can't do that there, but we can't do it on top of here. We need 5 more purchasing portals. I just want to get these in real quick so that I'm completely sure. And then we're gonna have to postpone till next time. So the next episode to finish up, and then that episode will be half getting the rest of the Mars done and half bottle episode getting this one needs to be moved. Getting the infrastructure and stuff like that. Oh my god. Yet another problem. Oh no. How do we get money up here? I mean, the easy way just be to cheat the infrastructure system. Right? And have additional money builds. I think that's all we really can do, though. Now we're out of steel. That is quite the feat. I don't know why I ran up that far. Didn't even get the steel. Okay. Yeah, so I'm a little fried here, I think. This build became quite a bit more challenging. Now we are a whole day post. I think what's gonna happen, and with that idea, only thinking of it now, it's gonna be a bit weird, the rest of the dialogue here. But I think what I will have done is that this will already be in the next episode. This won't be in... This will already be part 2, and I will have cut it that day. And the dialogue is gonna be a little bit weird because I don't want to do too much editing. That is the premise, I feel, of the channel and things in general. Damn it, no more rope. Yeah, so this will be part 2 that we're doing right now. And going forward, I will just be acting like that was the plan all along. So yeah. I will probably record some intro audio for once, and that also means that I should save the game, though. Better late than never. Anywho, we are almost there. How do we get it on top, you say? Well, we cheat a little bit again. No! Ugh. It's so annoying, really, falling all the way down when we're so high up. There's so many staircases. But yeah, I hope that you will bear with me. I just, we gotta get this done, and it just wasn't possible in any other way. Cool. What a mess. What a mess of a build, really. I mean, one thing though you gotta give it is insanely compact. This does have a build of steel gears. I did not think that would be possible in this amount of space. Obviously, we don't have the catapults down for the iron smelters, but we do now. That requires a purchasing portal that we don't have the portal sigil for. Do need 7. Yeah, we need 7. For the additional unit of this. So we'll have a... Actually, so we needed 8, right? Yeah, we needed 8. This will do iron ore. And that is probably as compact as I can make it. Question is now, if we take all of this and we make another one, we need some more nails, we need one more sigil, and we need some more wood. That should be doable. No more nails in the extra nails basket. Plenty of wood, so we gotta go down to the bottom floor here. What was it going? Nails, right? Nails is over here. There we go. Cool, let's get back upstairs. Oh, it wasn't enough nails. We need 6 more nails. Are you joking? That's crazy. Let's just get some excess iron here and throw it into the nail maker. We have some excess iron here as well. That should be more than enough. No. Okay. Okay, so we're supposed to be able to lock this. So we might need to move these things here first. Oh no. How is there extra? Don't understand that at all, to be honest. We need to get that lavender seed. Just gonna get rid of this excess black powder. Throw in that lavender seed, and then we have that. Okay. Not sure how that happened. Anywho, that should give us the space that we need to move this. Well, not move, but duplicate it. Put that there. That sort of works out pretty well in terms of space. Astonishingly, I have no idea. Astonishingly, I have no. It just doesn't make any sense in my head right now. Holy, yeah. Well, so quite incredibly, it works out. And I'm just gonna throw down one of these here instead of making it go all the way back here in the end. So that is our full build of steel gears. And then all there's left, well, there's two things left now. If I can find the shaper thingy. There it is. Two things left now. The two belts of iron nails, which should come from the excess iron that we are throwing in right now. We are doing we're doing 80 nails per, so we're doing, but basically we're doing 20 nails too many, or 20 iron too many. So we need, I think we need 2 more iron smelters, and then the excess off of these ones, or maybe, I mean, we have plenty of space, so maybe we'll just do dedicated nails, and this will just be here for symmetry's sake. We could also, if we wanted to, move this in here in the middle, again for symmetry's sake, but I'm not too bothered by that right now to want to do that. And then really what's left is to hope that all the connections are made correctly, because this has just been such a massive undertaking and we haven't really tested anything along the way, so I really hope that it works as expected. And then obviously we need to get some money up here and some fuel and some fertilizer. But I'm gonna take a very short break. It's not gonna be noticeable for you, but it will be for me. So see you in a bit, I guess. And I am back. It's been a couple of days for me since I touched the save last, but what we need to do is get our infrastructure connected to our Mars setup so we can actually see that it's running and working. We need everything: fuel, money, and fertilizer. We're not going to use the panacea potions like we talked about because we just don't have the capacity at this point. So we're gonna try and get some coke powder and some growth potions up here. I think we are at the point where it makes sense to, we also talked about this a little bit, but to sort of redo this infrastructure shaft here. See if we can't get something a little bit easier to use. And I have an idea that I would like to try out. Still making money even though Saturns are not that high. That's good. That is good. But it is because something has stalled. We aren't purchasing nearly the amount of sage seeds that we are used to. So let's just fix that first. I'm assuming it has something to do with our panacea setup, because it most likely does. Let's steal those two from here, throw it into the lavender, get that going again, because we do have unstable catalysts, so that is what was the hold up down here. And that might have just been the entire bottleneck. No, we're missing world trees as well. Got plenty of gentian, it seems. So we are missing world tree leaves. How do we get some of those? Well, we have a very long buffer line here that we can take some from. Let's just, cut this one off here. Pick up these. Actually, we can take this one out as well. So now this is just for our gentian. This buffer line. That's good, and we can throw these 11 panacea potions in here. Gotta sell some leaves, and that should start everything back up. Okay, so the idea that I had is on this floor and the floors above, we're able to sort of use the overhang of the store. And I was wondering if we can do the same thing here. Outside building area, okay. But we can't do it up there. Interesting. So a couple of floors up we can do it. Because what I wanted to do then is I wanted to... I'm not entirely sure how much sense it makes, but it will at least save us from having these 3 pillars here on those higher floors. I think it's one more uprightness. Because what we could do is have everything sort of from this floor on, we could have it flow out here, and then we could build... I mean, we can also just build it in this corridor here, but it's especially in the higher floors, I feel like it's getting problematic. So I think it would make sense to sort of do it out here. So what I was thinking is, let's say we get coal, or so we get money. Yeah, how do I want to do it? I want to get stuff up to the next floor. So let's get rid of this one here. We'll just have this platform here just for simplicity's sake right now. So let's say this is money. And then we have fuel. And then we have fertilizer. And that gets brought upstairs. Get it in here. Get it in here. And get it in here. And then we can move them once over. Right, like this. They all need to be one higher. Annoying. But that is fine. Then we would get stuff out from here. And into here, and then we could do the same thing with another platform up here, and then we could just alternate these platforms. Can't entirely do it like that, but we can do it. We just need to also alternate where this one is going. So we would have one here, and one here. need to bring stuff out like this. And like that. So that would split everything on the floors. It does. Okay, so there's two things about this. The first thing is that it does split it evenly every time something goes upstairs, but that's already happening. So question is whether or not we care about that. It is making this sort of the lower the floor, the more throughput it gets. So a lower floor needs to complete its buffer before a floor above is able to complete its buffer, more or less. But is that a problem? It could be. Is it something that we need to fix? We might not. Let's see what would. How would we be able to fix it? So we would need to make some sort of mechanism where everything is split equally amongst the floors. That would mean we need some sort of bus down here instead, where everything gets in, and then for each floor we want to take it, we need to run one directly instead of doing this sort of staircasing. I don't think we're at a point where we want to do that, especially because we might have to oh, what's it called? Come on me. We might have to use more floors than we could have on our bus down there, so this is more scalable, and we don't mind filling up the buffers. They're already pretty much full in a lot of places anyways. Now, one other thing that this does do is that actually I can show without. I don't know if I have it unlocked. I might not have it unlocked because it's not something we have used. So let's just go grab a little bit of money and do that. Yep. Tunnel conveyors would allow us to use them. Let's just get this one growth potion. We can spare some growth potions. Okay, so let's just get a little bit of money there. 30% over market rate is pretty nice, and we aren't selling growth potions, so that does add up a little bit as well. Now, let's get back to this infrastructure, and what I wanted to show you with those conveyor belts is that we can sort of hide this whole setup if we wanted to. You put them inside the walls here, and they do stick out a little bit, so we would need to move out some stuff. But we can definitely have a setup where we don't have these open holes for the infrastructure, and that would be relatively nice, I think. I want to start with getting the money online because okay, so I'm thinking actually maybe we need to. Yeah, we do need to fill out this hole, so we need to take out all of the infrastructure that we do have. So maybe we... But we also need money all the way up there. Okay, yeah, so let's just work a bit quickly. Everything's gonna stop for a little, or run off of the buffers for a little bit, and then hopefully we'll be able to get everything started back up. Or maybe we should ready each floor so that the downtime is minimum. Maybe that is the better call. Probably is, to be honest. Okay, so let's take stuff here and go up a few floors then. We'll ready each of the floors. By that we also need to know, so what does this one even import? This floor imports coke and money, so it wouldn't need a drop-off point for well, yeah, it does need coke, but it wouldn't need one for let's see, so we don't need drop-off for fertilizer. The question is whether or not we'd even want to try and bring any fertilizer up there. There's no point. So let's just get rid of that. We just bring money in, because the fertilizer that we have running down here is just going to stay down here. That's actually pretty nice that it just happens to be this floor or the floor above that is the cutoff point, because then everything down below which is running off of advanced fertilizer is going to stay untouched. That is quite a neat perk. Okay. So what we do have instead is that the the growth potion is going to flow onto this belt and flow on up. Let's see, how is money now? Yeah, so we are spending more money. A little bit of a loss because Saturns didn't do so good, and also our Jupiters didn't do so good. Our potions didn't. Everything's selling not that good today, so that's okay, I guess, with such a bad day. We didn't buy any iron, which is sort of concerning because we probably should be. So we gotta, when we're all done with all this restructuring of infrastructure, we do need to sort of go through the factory and see if there's any issues, of course. But anyways, for now, let's just go up to the next floor where we'll be getting in some money here. And we'll get some fuel and we'll get some fertilizer. And damn it. Okay, yeah, so just gonna get rid of this all again. Maybe not these three parts here, but definitely this, because we wanna have our stuff that can run upstairs. You know, and I sort of want to mimic it like this, so I'm just gonna build it by hand. So this comes in here, and this will come in here, and fertilizer will come in there. Cool. So that will be ready, even though this floor, let's see, this floor takes money, and it needs to get fertilizer from upstairs. So we don't care about an input for fuel, and we don't want the fertilizer to get dropped off from downstairs. Instead, we want its own fertilizer supply. Now, how are we going to get that down here? I think that the way to do this is we need a further section. So we need for stuff to flow down as well. But we also need it to go up. So let's just sort of ready it. We're out of rope, so let's get some more. But what I'm thinking is we'll do it in 2 layers. Oh no, damn it. Well, we almost had to go down all the way, so because rope is there. That's fine. Let's get back up there. And it wasn't here. It was up here. Now we want to make sure that these are possible. So we'll just set up this. This is gonna get money. And does it need to get fuel? It does not. It's self-sufficient on fuel. And it doesn't want growth potions either, does it? It does want growth potions. Okay, so it does want fertilizer, but no fuel. And we're out of nails too, of course. Oh, thought we would have some more there. Let's see here. Excess nails production. Let's grab some nails from all the way downstairs then. There we go. Okay, so for some reason my catapults have lost their targets. That might sort of explain why we weren't getting any purchases of iron. Let's see if there's any place else. Or do we have iron? No. Do we have iron smelters here? Do have some here. They are set to targets. Interesting that those down there had lost their targets. Don't know why that is. Anywho, not that important. want to get growth potions up here because they currently are, and we don't want to get fuel. We want to make sure we can get fuel upstairs, of course. Why is this so different? Oh well. And we want growth potions to go upstairs as well. Because we need growth potions up here, do we? Well, eventually we want this to be Panacea as well. I think we need growth potion, or we do need growth potions by our Mars build, which is 2 more stories up. So we just gotta keep going. Damn it. Did we get a new quest at least? Can't do Mars yet. How about these catapults? Are they all connected properly? They do seem to be. Good. Let's get back upstairs again then. Hopefully we can stop falling into that hole all the time as well then. This new setup. One more. There we go. So this is definitely one way of doing it, sort of this zigzagging, but I'm questioning actually whether we shouldn't do it slightly different. We'll see. We'll see if the other thing is, the thing that I'm thinking is feasible. This is how I meant to do it down here. How did I end up doing it? Oh, that's because, yeah, so we can't, okay, never mind. So again, we don't care about fuel here. But we do want to get growth potions in here. And money. And then for this floor, where we are making the Panacea potions, we just want money. And we don't care about the other ones. But we do want to get them upstairs. So that should do the trick there. And then we shall not have a hole in the floor here, but we should get money in on this line, and we can actually up here, let's just do that thing. the tunnels. So let's throw down a wall. And we'll do the tunnels. Because we can. One and two. And three. So yeah, connecting is really easy, and then getting to other floors, we'll have to redo this little part, but we can just... maybe let's just make room for it immediately, actually, by moving these. One over, so we have room for this, this and this. So we do need it to move a little bit more over. That's fine, we can have them here. And that will still be okay. So that should do the trick there. And we should get money in from here. And we should get fuel in from there. And this up here needs to be money. Cool. And what do we need over here? This is output, this is output. We do need all three, so let's just send that around. Fuel there, and we will get fertilizer as well. That should do it, I think. No, we didn't quite connect the money. So let's just grab it through there, and that should do it. What is this supposed to do? Finally, some Saturns get sold and we make a bit of money. Just thinking, this one does what? It sends... It's copper. Yeah, it's copper. It's making copper to go into these. And it needs to be stacks of 4,000, so... Oh, that's not good. How do we... I mean, we can send these 50s, but we might have to rethink this part of the Mars setup. Because how do we get that many copper coins when we can only do stacks of 50? We're gonna have to wait and see how that turns out, I think, when we get the money rolling. But that is the first thing I do want to do, so let's get that set up. I think this is the first floor, so we do want to cut off the one that sends in money. That's this one? No. Which one sends money? We get money from the middle one. No, that sends upwards. We get money from the third one here. So we're gonna have to take this out, which is currently providing stuff, just to get the money in here. Confirm demolition. Yes, let's do it. Now we do need to probably get rid of this so we can have a bridge. I want to get money onto this bridge. This will get us money, and then we need this, at least for now. I just want it buffering into this system before we do anything else, really. And then we can redo the rest. Now, if I'm only taking up coal here, coke powder. How do we get coke powder over here? We need another bridge. Isn't there like a double bridge or something? This one, drawbridge conveyor. I'm thinking there's also this retractable conveyor passage. That might be something we could use as well. The double one needs to hang from the ceiling, so we would have to put in the ceiling here. I think this retractable bridge is probably the answer that we're looking for. retractable passage. Let's... where do we want to put it? Is the question. I mean, we could have a conveyor here, and then a retractable one. Yeah, so this one can't float, unfortunately. This doesn't work, does it? No, we can't connect these two. This just goes across. We can't do that, but we could then here could get one across. Like so, and then we just have to route the cook powder to sort of go around. Oh no. I feel like I have accidentally deleted something I shouldn't have because I have a bunch of stuff in my inventory that I don't feel like I should have. So just gonna run up here really quick. Make sure I didn't. Maybe I didn't. That is good, obviously. Just interesting where the items are coming from. But that doesn't matter. Let's take a look at the money. It should have made its way up here, and it did. It did make its way up here. We are making the money. They are buffering, so once we get some fuel up here, we'll see whether or not that works. And fuel should be on its way, I think. No. Fuel should be on its way. It's definitely flowing. So we'll just... I don't think we're using coke powder on that many floors either, so it should be pretty easy to track. There we have some coke powder coming in. Starting to get distributed. Good. So let's just get the growth potions on there as well. Just so we can let the buffers, damn it, sort of fill up. And then we can look at getting the panacea potions at a different, on a different level. Okay, so growth potions, how do we get those? I mean, it's not from this floor, obviously, but using this sort of retractable belt actually does seem like it's a very good one, but we can just connect it here because we are on this alternate floor, and that one is relatively easy. Now, is this floor requiring coke powder? It does. So let's just... what's in here? Some coke powder, okay. Where are we getting all these items from? God damn. Just get rid of the seeds here. Okay, so that should be fine. And then up here, we just want money. Let's get rid of these. Here, because we should be transporting everything. Now, how do we get... You know what? Let's just get rid of all the things so we can actually put in the flooring. That's fine, some leftovers there. Because when we put in the flooring, then it's quite easy to do this connection here. Get money in here. We don't need this. Do need some panacea potions to get down here eventually, but right now not so necessary. I'm just gonna make a box so we can put some of all of our stuff in, so I don't keep throwing these bags all over the place. So this should be fine. And this one is easy, but let's just throw down this flooring. We gotta connect money. And what else do we want here? This is blast potions. This is growth potions. So it's still sufficient. We just need growth potions. We don't care about this money. Just need growth potions to flow in here. Wonderful. That should be this floor connected. And then we have this floor here. Put in a piece of floor. And we'll put the money on the belt here. And this needs growth potion. So we'll throw that onto the belt there. It also needs other stuff, and we'll have to account for that somehow. We'll have to get them in here, but this is just the basics right now. Throw in a piece of floor. Money is already flowing here. And the rest we'll have to deal with later. And then we have our Mars. It's burning stuff. Yeah, so we need more bank portals is probably the way to do it, because it's not filling a belt. So I would think that would be the way to fix that, is to get a dedicated banking portal for the different levels, and then maybe that's enough. I'm not sure, but let's give it a try. If we take out the bank portal there, actually, let's not do that. That was a lot of money, a lot of Saturn sold. Very nice. Um, Bank portal, where are you? You're there. Let's put it back, and then we'll just have another one. Just need a actual portal sigil. One more level. There we go. Let me just get a few. If we need some for some reason. Why didn't that connect properly? Or just didn't set it up? Needs to make 50 stack copper. That does seem like it is a full build now. So let's just get rid of this here and reverse this belt. And hopefully no, it still does not seem to be enough for it to go continuously. But I mean, if we do stacks of 50, so we can math this out. If we do stacks of 50 and it fills out the belt, which is running at 120 stacks per minute, that is what? That's 1200. That's 6,000. So we're doing 6,000 copper per minute. So we actually need 2 per floor. Okay. So let's do that. We'll have 2 per floor. And we'll do the same for up there. Let's just move stuff so we have the room. And then for symmetry's sake, I would like this one to be here as well. And we can use this one for this floor, and we can use this one for the floor up here, as well as this one. Just gotta get stuff going like this instead. There we go. That should do it. A little bit more ugly and not as thought through, but that is just on the moment sort of what I came to, and it does seem like we are now buffering and bearings are being produced at the rate they should be. So that is good. Now, what is going on here? We don't have any fuel. Going into the build, which is obviously problematic. Fuel goes in from this angle. Now what is this belt supposed to do? Nothing, I don't think. Is things starting to spin up? No. This one is the dot one, so that's fine. This one is getting heat. Is it getting any inputs? It's not getting any inputs. The inputs are starting to show up now. Yeah, okay, so bronze is starting to be made. And rivets are starting to come out. Cool. It just takes a little time to get that started. Now, this is the big one. This is the dangerous one. First, we need money to flow through there. So that fact that it isn't is a little worrisome. But hopefully that fixes it. Come on, money. Yes, okay. Good first step. And then we need to carry the fuel to the other line as well, and the money needs to be set up in a similar fashion. So that is a good first start. This is getting money, but it's not producing anything because we didn't set it up. We do have iron in here. What does it need to produce? It needs to produce coal, I'm pretty sure. Right? Yeah, we need coke powder, so this should be coal. And this is gonna incur quite a bit of a startup cost, but we're just gonna have to live with that. Coal should flow down here, and coke powder should get, or coke should come out, and then coke powder should be connected somewhere. Yeah, coke powder's flowing. We can't really see it, unfortunately, but we should be able to see Athenor starting up, so that is correct. So we just gotta sort of copy this. We can't copy recipes on purchasing portals, so we're just gonna have to update them all manually. And of course, that's not gonna be an easy task, because why would it? But we can sort of give ourselves a little ledge to stand on. hopefully we can reach them by like that then. I have a little bit of a mixed feelings about discovering the fact that we can use this extra ledge out here, because it allows me to do this setup with the infrastructure which I really like. But if I had known earlier, then we would have had more space. We can actually have a full platform out here, which would mean that we could probably have it on the other side as well, right? Yeah. So instead of going 4x3, we could have 4x5, which would be like 8 tiles more of floor space on each floor above the third one, so everything wouldn't have had to be as cramped. But that is just gonna be how it is for now. This is producing steel gears. Good. So that should be everything really. If we now just connect it into our shaper, then everybody should be happy. Oh no, we're missing the nails. We're missing the nails. Okay, that's not the end of the world. But it is a little bit silly. That we haven't done them yet. Also, it seems like one side of the rivet producer here doesn't have anywhere to put the rivets, because this block was, or this elevator was placed wrong. That should do the trick. Okay, so we just need the nails. And that is iron. We do have some excess iron on this setup over here, but getting that out, to be honest, is going to be too much of a hassle that I just am not going to be bothered. So let's just quickly, and now we're going to end up running out of time again because I forgot about the nails, which is actually quite a bit of a bummer. But we'll have to go a little bit over because I really want the Mars to finish here in this episode, and then we will get the rest of the infrastructure, namely the Panacea related parts. We'll get that set up in the next episode. Okay, so nails, we need 240 nails. And let's just go down to the bottom floor here where we are producing nails. We get 20 iron per smelter, and we get 30 nails per 10 iron, so it's a ×3 multiplier. And we need 240, so that's what, 8, 16, yeah, so we need 8. Right? A 3 times multiplier. So we need 80 iron, so we need 4 smelters. Let's just take this one. And yeah, so we get 4 smelters, that's 80 iron, that's 240 nails. And that should fit, or it has to fit on 2 separate has to be on 2 separate lines, conveyors, because of our limit. So let's just start with getting a portal. We'll get 2 of them eventually. This portal will split into 2 catapults. And then we will have our iron furnaces. F. We'll get the fuel in there, and this will be iron ore. This one will be iron ore. And then we will get our iron out here. That's 80, so that shouldn't be a problem with the belt speeds. And then we need 8. One, two, three, 4. Doing nails. That is technically gonna be the end of the episode, but we are so close, so we'll just finish it off. This will be the first nail line, and then we gotta get a lab stand. Actually, I did want them to be in the same orientation. Come on. There we go. And that, ladies and gentlemen, should be our Mars. Very, very nice. I just want to get one out on the belt here. Then we can finish up. That's gonna take a little time though. So in that meantime, hope I would try and get at least the fertilizer and the blast fertile catalyst and the blast potion. We'll get those things up here, and the world leaf. So we need 3 things to get up here. And how on earth are we going to do that? Well, what I was thinking is that we would do it on a second level like so. Turned it, unfortunately. think if we do this, it does make it slightly more complicated looking. We're out of wood, really. Interesting. That was our Mars that we just saw the notification from. At least it should have been. Yep, and we got a Mars in the bank. Very nice. Thanks so much for watching. I don't want to extrude this episode into more than it already is and sort of do a repeat of last time's fiasco. So we're just gonna leave it at that, and I will reveal the full extent of my plans in the next episode for how to get the other stuff here between the floors. So thank you so much for watching. It's been a pleasure. Feel free to leave a, don't feel free. I mean, do feel free, but please leave a like, subscribe, and leave a comment if you have any critique, if you think the episode was good. It really helps me out a lot to get these metrics, so it would be really appreciated. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I do though wish we could have just one last turn.